You said in the press today that you're very likely just to go with three line hockey, not the four line. We talked about that at the start of the summer as well. Do you think there's going to be nights where you maybe sort of dabble with a little bit of four line hockey just to see if it works?
That'll really have to see how our players bear up to it. There will be teams that go four lines on some nights. We strictly do not have the depth or budget to run four lines. That is just a reality of Fife. I've mentioned it many times over the last season and a half or two about this line in the sand. And I'm telling you, I feel like I've been pushing management to the edge where they're almost throwing their hands up in frustration because 14 imports in a smaller market like Fife is very, very difficult. It becomes very, very difficult to keep up to teams that seem to have the endless flow of income. We're a gate-based club. We need people in. I hope they come out and support this team right off the bat. That is key to our survival and key to our maintaining players like we brought in this year. It's important that we get numbers through the door. I know that our off-ice team is doing a great job as far as bringing in sponsorship, and that is obviously much appreciated, but ultimately it's the gate that keeps us afloat, and if we want to continue to bring in top quality players, that's what we're going to be relied on. Now, saying that, I think the directors have shown a commitment in opening it up and allowing us to bring in guys that are going to make us competitive on a nightly basis. But there is a line, and I'm straddling it right now.
And just finally, we'll talk next week about the Brits. And there's less space for Brits. Obviously, if you've got 14 imports, have you decided who's coming back, or is that still a little bit up in there?
Well, we've talked. I just got back last week. I've talked to a number of them. They're keen to be involved. I've had to make them well aware that there is less time of ice available. I mean, that's just the practicality of it. I mean, I could probably speak to you here at length about the time required of bringing in the next generation of local talent that the directors believe is an ethos of the club. And we are years away from even being close to that. We have a goaltender that will be dressed with us a few games this season to further on his development, Andrew Little. And some of the young guys in junior development, people will probably see them sitting on the bench to be able to soak up the atmosphere and to get accustomed to playing in front of 2,000 people. They're on the ice with us week in, week out. But the jump from junior development and training with us a couple times a week to playing in a game the gap is immense. And we simply just don't have that base of Brits to push these guys onwards and upwards. Spoken to, a couple other Brits from around the league. That's something that pushed very, very hard on this season. And once again straddling the line again. I've been reminded, and it's part of my job, and that's why it is, that the reason this club is in Kirkcaldy is that they wanted to provide a place for local talent to come through. It's getting increasingly difficult. I have a good relationship with the head of junior development, Stephen Lynch. We talk quite often about what's coming through and what needs to be done. That's maybe possibly even more on a national basis. But ultimately, it's my job to present everybody with the best options, and we see what we can put in place and put out on the ice.